Welcome to the Classy Career Girl podcast. I'm your host, Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, one of Forbes' most influential career sites. This is a podcast for a community of women who want to turn their passions into work they love. You'll learn how to become happy, successful, and balanced with class, skill, and style. We believe that you can create your future. So stop delaying your great life. Go put yourself out there. You can have your great life and career right now. Happy Monday, everyone. The kids just left for school, so I just clicked on the record button, and I'm super excited to start out the week recording this podcast for you. Monday mornings are my podcast recording time, so I have my coffee, I have my smoothie, and we're just gonna chit chat about our topic of the day. So I put up a poll on Instagram, and you all wanted this topic, so let's dive in. We're gonna talk about scaling to six figures, and I'm going to give you my whole strategy for how to do this. So this podcast is for you if you are thinking about starting a business, or if you already have a business but you're struggling to get to the six figures per year, 100K per year. So you might be thinking, wait, Anna, you never really talk about money on this podcast. Why are you starting to talk about making money now? My goal for you is to get to six figures in your business as quickly as possible. Why? Because you have an impact to make, and you can't make that impact when you're treading water, trying to figure out how you are going to pay the bills. So one of the biggest mistakes I see business owners make is really wasting time in this time period of going from 0 to 100K. So there can be a lot of wasted time getting to six figures if you don't know what you're doing. But when you pass that six-figure mark, you know what you do really matters. It is tested. You're making an impact. You're bringing in more consistent income that you know can support you for many years to come. Maybe you're quitting your job. You're decreasing your stress, and you have more freedom and flexibility in your life. So when you aren't worried about money, you can do the work that you were born to do. And that is our goal here at Classy Career Girl, is to get you into that work. So you're going to be more happy, you're going to be more successful, and more fulfilled in your work. So my goal is to get you to that six figures mark as quickly as possible so that you can ensure that you never dread Monday again. So what is six figures exactly? This is when your business generates $100,000 annually. That means you need to make at least $8,333 per month, or $277 per day. It means that each quarter of the year, your 90-day goal should be to generate $25,000 in your business. Really important to get clear on those financial goals, write them down, look at them every day. If you are just getting started, don't worry, anyone can follow this strategy and make it happen. When I first started, I wasted a lot of time and many years. I made less than six figures on the side of my day job when this was just a side hustle and I was treating it as a hobby. So this strategy combines all of the lessons I learned from that first year that my business made six figures. And this was in 2015, a long time ago. The year after I quit my day job, that's when I really got serious and I really treated it as a business. And that's when I made that six figures in a year. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. I know what you're waiting for. First, let's talk mindset, the mindset you need to make six figures. So in order to pass this milestone in your business, you have to stop caring what other people think and focus on you. You have to stop following all your competitors out there, seeing what they're doing, trying to model what they're doing. You just have to do your own thing. You also need to have a system every week where you review your goals, you set goals for the next week. If you're in my class membership, you know we do this every week. If you aren't doing this, you need to. Reaching a six-figure goal requires planning and commitment. It also requires really good execution. So set a weekly date with yourself to review the week and set 3 things that you're going to do for the following week to reach your goal. And you really have to stay focused. I highly recommend getting inside of my class membership so that you can work through our phases of corporate rescue plan, which tells you exactly what you need to do. So it's going to make this process a lot easier, getting around a community as well. And then really the last thing you want to do is get clear on your current mindset traps. What are you telling yourself about money? This was so important for me to do when I first was really focusing on growing my business because I had a lot of money blocks and I still do. I'm still working through this. Like, what blocks do you have about money? Have you ever had any of these thoughts? Am I good enough? It has to be perfect before I can start. I need a website before I can start. Will this even work? Do people even want my product or service? Is my offer any good? No one is buying. I guess I should just look for a job instead. I hate selling. I'm going to fail. I don't have enough experience. So if you've ever thought any of these, it's totally normal. I've thought all of these at some point through my entrepreneurial journey. And the important thing is that you become aware of the thoughts that you're telling yourself and you catch yourself thinking it, and instead you repeat a positive affirmation that will help you move forward. I still do this today. I catch those negative mindset thoughts and flip them into a positive thought instead. So these thoughts will prevent you, those negative thoughts I just said, or whatever your negative thoughts are that you might have, from when you were growing up, from your family. Those thoughts are going to prevent you from getting to six figures. So instead, we have to start saying affirmations and repeat them every day that are positive. So here are some that I have repeated to myself in the past. I possess the qualities needed to be extremely successful. Wealth constantly flows into my life. I can achieve my goals. I have what it takes. I will do the work that is required to make my goal happen. I am committed to this path. I will plan to win. I achieve whatever I set my mind to. I choose faith over fear. I have a great offer that positively impacts millions of women. I am so happy and grateful that I am now making my income goals. I am getting out of my own way. So write these affirmations down, say them to yourself every single morning, every single night. And if you do that habit for a month, you're going to start to be more positive in how you're thinking and more ready to hit that six-figure goal per year. So let's talk about my scale to six-figure story. I spent many years trying to grow my blog, Classy Career Girl. For many years, I kept trying to figure out how to generate a full-time income from my blog. And I was using sponsored posts and affiliate income. This was before I had a membership, before I had courses. I was doing this as a side hustle. I started my blog in 2010, and I actually quit my day job in August 1st of 2014 when my first daughter was 6 weeks old. So finally, at that time, I really realized I needed to create my own products or services rather than rely on advertisers. So this was an important turning point for me. I was relying on advertisers for sponsored posts, for affiliate income, and I wasn't in control of my money. I wanted to be in control of my income, so I created an online course. You see this a lot with influencers right now. This is really popular to promote other people's products or services or do joint ventures. To me, that's never been my main income source. I've always liked to have my own products or services through online courses and memberships and coaching programs. So that first course I did, the Get Unstuck Bootcamp, it did okay. I launched it on the side of my day job. I taught it in the evenings, but it still wasn't enough to quit my day job. So I decided I would do individual coaching. And from there, I developed the Get Unstuck system, which I learned from coaching so many women one-to-one. And I was able to see where people kept getting stuck, and I saw their most frequently asked questions, which is why I always recommend, if you're a coach, starting with that one-on-one to build up your confidence, to build your social proof, your case studies, your testimonials, and then also to get the questions that are coming in from your clients. So from there, I took my system, that Get Unstuck system, and I created my offer. And this one offer is what has helped me generate my first six-figure income. It was called Love Your Career Formula. It was a 90-day program. And it was a 90-day course, which included weekly group coaching calls for an entire year. And I helped women who were stuck in their jobs make a career transition. I charged $997 in full, or 12 installments monthly of $100. And I also had a VIP option that included individual coaching with me. So I sold this 90-day program through sales conversations. I automated my marketing and had an entire system that walked my audience through my content, and they were able to book a free call with me. And my sales were all completed online. My delivery of the program started immediately right when they bought. And this was important because I didn't have to be involved in every single step of my company. I was able to automate and get leads and sales. And at that point, I had I think we were still trying to get pregnant. Between that time, we were like in the midst of having our first child or trying to have our first child. So once I had my offer and my automation set up, I worked hard to get visible by getting interviews and getting in front of other people's audiences. I emailed people to get on their podcasts, and I emailed networking group organizers to see if I could speak at their events. And it worked. In 1 year, I'd spoken to over 50 organizations, and universities were contacting me and also paying me to speak to their students too. So the steps I took to reach my first six-figure year are the exact steps you can do too. It doesn't matter what you sell, where you live, how old you are. You can follow these exact same steps to have your first six-figure year too. And it doesn't take that much time either. When you're focused on the right things, that's what we're always focused on, we're always focused on those few right steps that are going to get you to that goal that you really want. So first, I want you to write this down right now, unless you're driving. I want you to write down, I will make six figures in 1 year. Are you ready to commit? That is your commitment. I know you can do this. Say that affirmation to yourself every day and start believing that it can happen. That's really important. What will your life look like? Why do you want to make six figures in 1 year? And then we can every single day just start taking imperfect action every single day. So the first step in my scale to six-figure strategy is to clarify your offer. Often people get stuck and they plateau before hitting six figures because they're either trying to sell too many products and haven't focused down on one product, or their audience isn't clear how their product is going to actually help them. That is key. I'm going to repeat that again. Often people get stuck in plateau before hitting six figures because they're either trying to sell too many products and haven't focused down on one product, or their audience isn't clear how their product can actually help them. I often get asked by my clients, what should my offer be? And by asking this question, they're wondering what deliverables they should include in their offer and what they should charge. This happens all the time. So this is a mistake to figure out, what your deliverables should be, because an offer isn't about what they get when they buy. An offer is the transformation that you provide by your product or service. So how is someone's life going to be better after they purchase your product? That is your offer. So in order to get clear on your offer, you also need to know the reason that people will buy your offer and the cost of not buying. Like, will they lose money or time? Will it impact their health? If they don't buy, what is the cost to them? And to get clear on your offer, you also want to identify who your product or service is for and what proof you have that your system will work. Has your product worked for other customers? If not, you might want to do some free consultations or give some free or discounted products so you can start to really gather those testimonials. That's when selling becomes easy, when you start to sell based off people's stories and you're getting results, and all of a sudden you're like, I love my business because I impact other people and I get results. And finally, you'll want a system or a framework that positions you as the expert. So in order to have a system, you need to identify all the areas where you see people make mistakes and their most frequently asked questions. Where do they get stuck? Your system should take them from where they are now to where they want to be step by step. And this is why I always say just help one person every day. Because if you're just helping one person every single day, you're going to learn so much about where people are getting stuck and their most frequently asked questions. And once you have all of that, then you can come up with your price points and the bonuses and the deliverables that will be included in your program to help your customers get the results they want. So remember, people don't buy because you provide 10 videos and 3 beautiful worksheets. People will buy because they want the transformation your product or service provides. They have a problem that they want solved. So for example, inside of my class membership, it doesn't matter what's inside. All that matters is that I'm going to help you go from employee to entrepreneur through my corporate rescue plan success path. There's 6 phases. I walk you through everything. That's it. That's literally all you need to know. I'm going to get you to the result that you want. I've got it all figured out. We have case studies. We have many testimonials, and it works. And that's how confident you want to be in your offer too. It works. It doesn't matter what's inside. I'm going to get you to that result and that destination that you want. So that's the very first step. We have to get really clear on your offer and where you're taking your customers. Step 2 then is to be seen. So a lot of times people are like, oh, I got to open my Instagram, or I got to open my LinkedIn, or all that. But we got to talk about what happens next when you have that great offer, but no one is going to be able to buy it if they don't know who you are. So that's why we have to get visible. We have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Unfortunately, reaching 6 figures is not going to be super comfortable. It's easy to stay comfortable and not put yourself out there. So if you're plateauing and staying stuck under 6 figures, it's probably because you're staying on the comfort level. And this is where all of your mindset work will be very helpful in reminding yourself not to worry about what everyone else is doing. So when I was at this point, I had to unsubscribe and unfollow some people on social media because I was getting distracted and jealous. And to this day, I follow no one else in my field because it completely distracts me. I am here to make an impact in my own way and do what I was born to do. I don't need to follow all my competitors to get ideas of what I should do or say. So think, is there anyone else you need to unfollow? Also, when you're at this point, it's also important to take the focus off of yourself. Guess what? Building a business isn't about you. It's about how you help others and solve problems. There are people out there that need you right now. They need your help so badly with your product. They never hear about you. How can they change their life if they don't know about you and you never are seen or visible or put yourself out of that comfort zone? They're waiting for you right this very second to start being visible and put yourself out there, helping one person every day. So that's why it's not about you. It's about them. And at this point, we also have to start getting clear on your plan to be seen. Like, what social media platform do your ideal clients hang out at? What social media platform do you love the most? Those 2 questions will help you figure out where to start. And you're probably wondering what you should talk about on social media. The answer goes back to your offer and the pains and the challenges that your market has right now. The more you put yourself out there and relate and connect with your audience, the more sales you'll have. The more you continue to help people on a daily basis, you'll come up with that content. You'll come up with the things to say as long as you're putting that focus on helping people. And that means doing Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives and YouTube videos, podcasts, and blogs. Those are all options. You can pick one of those. To start, you'll want to investigate who already has an audience that you can be featured on through interviews or podcasts. You may want to start gathering a community of your ideal clients in a Facebook group and leading them through a challenge or a workshop that can help them change your life by using your product. And you also may want to investigate what speaking events are coming up in your area and how you can be featured as an expert. You may want to hold your own event and invite your ideal clients to the event. So these are all the ideas and actions that I took. All these that I'm saying, I did every single one of these. Yes, I had the event. Yes, I went to other people's events and was featured as a speaker. These are all ideas and actions I took. And I wanted to get in front of my ideal clients and be seen. I was testing, I was learning, and most likely you already know right now what you need to do. It's probably something you've been procrastinating for a while right now. Is there something you've been procrastinating on doing that you know you need to do? So make a commitment right now that you will get out of your own way to be seen so you can impact others and make a difference with your product or service. Remember, they're struggling. Your ideal clients right now, they're struggling with their problem right now and they need you. You can help them solve that problem. So the best way to get over your fear of putting yourself out there is by trying it. Facebook Lives, videos, podcasts get easier the more you do it. Action leads to clarity and confidence. So just do the first one. click that button, go live, record the video, and you might even have a ton of fun. Usually you do when you're starting to work on your passion and you're starting to help people, it starts to become really fun. And then the third step is to automate your marketing. So this is the last step, but during this step, it's really important that you start setting up your marketing systems so you can reach six figures. So when you first start, you might be emailing your customers or your potential clients. You might be booking times in your calendar manually to chat with your potential customers. You might be processing sales through individual invoices or delivering your content or products manually yourself. We got to do that to start, right? In the beginning, we're just starting, we're figuring things out, we're bringing in those first few sales, but eventually in order to hit six figures, that all needs to stop. In order to get to six figures, we have to be able to use all the marketing systems that are available to us to eliminate our stress. The more you're involved in getting leads and sales, the more it's actually going to slow you down. So there are so many systems available to you to help you automate your business and make your life easier. So in this step, we want to focus on automating leads and automating sales. Really important. To automate leads, we need a way to collect email addresses and collect contact information from people who are already interested in our product or service. We will explain a lot of this. We explain this a lot in phase 2 of our class membership. It's way beyond what I have time to talk about here today. But in the beginning, I want you to focus on step 1 and step 2. And then when you're really ready to really automate everything, that's when you want to make sure you get inside a class so you can take all of our training on automating and collecting email addresses and collecting information from people who are already interested in your product or service. It's such an amazing feeling. I did this morning. I do this every single morning where I open my computer and I check all my stats and I already see leads coming in while I slept. That's what we want to do for you as well too, because you're solving problems. You're solving so many problems that people want what you're providing, and people want your lead magnets, and your list starts to grow because you're helping more people. The focus is off of you in this step. If you're selling high-end coaching programs or services, you'll want to automate the way you conduct your sales conversations so your potential customers can automatically book a time on your calendar. The best system I recommend using is Calendly. That's like the easiest one to figure out. That's what we recommend for our career coach certification program. All of our coaches have a Calendly link where people can start to book a call with them. You can actually see that Calendly link if you want to. You can go to classycareergirl.com/directory and you can see a list of our certified career coaches, and you can actually click there and book a time on their Calendly link as well to connect with them. So finally, you'll also want to automate the fulfillment of your product or service. So when people purchase, they can get started right away and they don't have to worry about you sending them an email. You want to help them get immediate results. So remember, don't worry about how you're going to do all this, especially if you're just getting started. The how will take care of itself. Right now, you need to focus on the big picture of where you're going and the steps that you need to take once you get there so that you are ready. So that's why I like having these 3 steps. So you can kind of see what the third step is. Even if you're just getting started, we got to focus on the first step. The offer, be seen, and then automate. Super simple. So remember also, before you get started, your plan will probably change. And that's why we do 90-day planning here. You know, I talk about it all the time. We have a 90-day planning challenge inside of my membership. I have a 90-day free planner. You can get it at classycareergirl.com/free plan. You definitely want to do that every 90 days because what got you here won't get you there. That means how you think you'll hit 6 figures right now will probably look a little different when you actually do it. I know it did for me. So you'll have to make changes and pivots, and one product won't work, so you have to change it. One market won't work, so you might have to change it. What your message might not convert. Something you'll have to learn about a different social media platform. You might have to change it. Constant change. This is my life. So one thing is for sure, to reach 6 figures, there's going to be a lot of change. You're going to need to take imperfect action and adjust your plan as you need to get more clarity and confidence in your product or service. So as long as you don't give up You're never going to fail. You got this. I'm cheering you on. I would love to support you inside of class to help you reach this 6-figure goal. I'm super excited for you. So a couple questions I want to leave you with. So if you're going through this, I want you to write these questions down. The first step we talked about was your offer. So this is just kind of to summarize. I want you to think about what is the reason people will buy your product. I want you to think about what transformation your client will experience and who is it for. I want you to think about why. Why should they buy from you? What is your story? What is your system? What is the price and the payment plan that you offer? And how is your customer's life going to be different when they purchase your product? Also, what's the cost of not buying your product, and what proof do you have that it works? And then the second step, to summarize the be seen step, where will your customers discover you? What pain or challenges is your audience currently facing that you can create content around? And what are their goals and dreams that you can create content around? What is your content commitment? How often will you post or go live each week? And what podcasts or events can you be featured on? By the way, I highly recommend getting into a routine of going live weekly or podcasting weekly or a weekly blog or a weekly YouTube video, something weekly. That's why I have my Monday podcasts that go live, right? Every week we can kind of get into that routine where there's going to be a podcast on the Classy Career Girl podcast, and you kind of get used to that. So you kind of look for it, right? That's what we want to do for your audience as well. And then the third step, marketing automation. What problem does your market have that you will use to collect leads? Like, how can you turn that problem into a lead magnet? That's why I have my free 90-day planner, because so many people I noticed when I was doing coaching and building my business were really struggling creating their plans, reaching their goals, figuring out what step they should take first. And so my 90-day planner is something I could sell. I sell the physical copy, but I could sell the digital copy too. I spent a lot of money getting it designed and pretty and all that stuff, but I give it away for free because that is a really good opportunity for me to start to build a relationship with my audience. And then, are there areas in your business right now that you are too involved in? What do you currently need a system for? Do you need a system for getting leads, for getting sales, or both? And then can you automate certain parts of the fulfillment of your product or service so you don't have to be involved? And how can you use automation to exceed customer expectations? I hope you have enjoyed today's podcast. Send me a note on Instagram at Classy Career Girl. I can't wait to hear from you, and I can't wait to celebrate your first 6-figure year. Hey there, thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Classy Career Girl podcast. If you want to dive in deeper with me, get more free training and advice to help you find a job or business you love that supports the life that you really want, I'd love to invite you to check out more of my free blog posts, more free videos, and to give you the opportunity to download my free 90-day planning workbook. The best place to get started is to go to www.classycareergirl.com/free stuff. And that will guide you to the best place to start. So I look forward to helping you and supporting you further in reaching your goals and dreams. I will see you soon.